Here's another product I got in exchange for a purchase link in the video description. It's a low-cost multimedia projector with a wide variety of signal sources. Usually high-volume consumer products like these aren't the most exciting things to me. But for this particular item I've got a few interesting ideas. So if you could muster a bit of patience while I go through the motions of a regular product review, there'll be a teardown, a risky power LED modification, and maybe more if it hasn't burned down by then. Inside the box we're getting paper, power cable, AV cable, remote control, and the projector itself. The enclosure looks good and feels reasonably sturdy. It isn't prepared for ceiling mounting, but there's an adjustable foot for rough terrain, and a protective lens cap that is held in place by nothing. Turning it on, you can hear it. But because they clearly mention that it is not intended for quiet business presentation, but for multimedia and gaming, where the noise floor is elevated anyway, I wouldn't call it unreasonably loud. Here's a quick comparison with my normal talking volume. Even much more expensive projectors have a hard time working against daylight, so it's no surprise that this one also looks its best in low light conditions. At its minimum focal length of about 1.5 meters, it wasn't easy to get the entire image perfectly focused, but there is a vertical lens shift control that has helped a lot. From a USB stick or an SD card, it shows high-resolution photos and low bitrate videos without a problem. High bitrate videos can be taken from an external source, via every input you could ever ask for. There's composite, VGA, HDMI, and you can even wirelessly stream from Android and iOS devices. The exhaust air is very warm, which makes me wonder if this LED projector is even that much more energy efficient than an old incandescent lamp one. But overall, this is one of the most affordable projectors out there, and it does its job great where it counts. Out of a maximum of 9 points, I'd give it 7.
Fun will now commence.
And now that I've fulfilled my promise, I can finally take it apart. Inside, I expect no RGB dichroic mirrors, but a single LCD. That's the key to being able to sell a projector for less than $100. At a first glance, very neat. The copper wire antenna should be glued down though. To take out the mainboard I have to remove 3 screws and detach no less than 5 cables. Cooling fan, LCD, speaker, whoa, but gently please, a VGA input, power supply. The days where cheap Far East imports looked like this are apparently over, because this mainboard is a real beauty. Let's take a closer look.
Let's take an even closer look.
Didn't find a datasheet for the rock chip, but my guess is that it's responsible for files on USB sticks, and all management tasks in general. ZumV59 couldn't do that, it's just an LCD driver. The most interesting thing on the other side is this illegible Realtek module. It's most likely just a standard USB Wi-Fi interface that allows screencasting from mobile devices. Not sure what they have wiped the floor with, but the arrangement is still neat and tidy.
是最为知名的，而这2种呢被誉为一个套组。就是因为我相信这句话不用我来给大家答案了，牙齿是不是可以刷白的？对，这个答案就摆在你的面前。就普通的牙膏刷不白的，它在几秒钟的时间之内，牙垢、牙齿缝当中的脏东西、牙斑。
But I'm in here primarily for the power LED. Ah, there it is. Oh, look at it, what a cute module. And it even has an over-temperature shutdown. That's so nice. Again, I didn't find a datasheet, but we have other ways to determine what exactly we are looking at. I'm telling the SMU that it may go all the way up to 30 volts to fulfill my wish. And my wish is to have 10 milliamps flowing through the LED module. To accomplish that, it has to source approximately 15 volts. The projector power supply is also very nicely made, with generous input protection and an optically isolated enable pin. But it's not so gentle towards the LED. It's putting out a whopping 43 watts. But since even that doesn't seem to be quite enough oomph to outperform good old daylight, you've got to wonder, can't you just drop in a 100 watt LED? Well, I wouldn't recommend it as a modification to your cute little projector, but I do have the parts and a couple of YouTube viewers who probably would like to see how that looks. And the manufacturer has also made it super easy and non-intrusive by making one of the enclosure walls removable. That exposes the spot where the LED sits and makes it possible to use another one. I had to work around a bunch of dimensional restrictions, and I couldn't quite eliminate the stock cooling fan, because it is also responsible for directing a bit of airflow over the polarizer and the LCD, which will now be needed more than ever. But now it all fits together really well and it's even reversible. I think we are getting enough lumens as well. Instead of overloading the existing power supply, I'll hook up an external voltage boosting constant current source, based on an all-time favorite of mine, the LT1070. And with that we are ready to head over to my sunshine-flooded bathroom and see if we can compete. Well, that's a huge improvement in terms of brightness for sure, but it also lowers the contrast, and it emphasizes those uneven focus problems I had before. I think I'll reverse it for now, until I have the materials for another experiment. As you might have seen in the intro, I wanted to put in a powerful UV emitter and try to expose circuit boards. But I have so much more to do and so little free time at the moment, so that will have to be delayed a bit. Maybe someone else beats me to it. Wouldn't mind that at all, then I can keep my cute projector for normal projecting purposes.